The Deer Agency specializes in helping you understand your coverage before you need it. We offer all lines of personal and commercial insurance, including auto, home, and life. Contact Don Deer at 210-507-2169 and visit us at 7529 North Loop 1604 in Live Oak, Texas, or farmersagent.com/ddeer.
Are you pregnant and alone? You have options. The Sanctuary of Hope offers expectant mothers ages 12 to 22 a place to live, medical care, counseling, continued education, and options to raise your baby in a loving environment or help you with adoption. We want to help provide you and your baby with a bright future. Call us or email us today and let's walk through this together. 210-499-1554 or sohcares.org. All inquiries are confidential.
I Am Refocused Radio is brought to you by Documation, service that serves. Technology solutions to keep you moving forward. Visit nation.com today. You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shemaiah Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shemaiah Reed.
Welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and today we are going to be talking to an amazing Christian artist, Chris Bender.
So many of us are going through. Your burdens get so heavy, you don't know what to do. But I've been sent on assignment to encourage you. You can't give up now, you have so much to do. Wants you to throw in the towel. Oh, but I've been sent to remind you your help is here today. Whenever you feel like pressure, here's what you gotta say. Yeah, that's it. Come on, let's go.
He is doing great things. He's not just a top 25 Billboard artist. He's been working with some of the legends in the gospel industry. So without further ado, I want to welcome Chris to the show and say, how are you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, man? How are you?
Man, life is great. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Let's see, I'm a 25-year-old worship leader from the city of Boston or Brockton, Massachusetts. I was born in Brockton, born and raised in a really God-fearing home filled with a lot of love and humility, man. And that's pretty much, how I got my start. I was petrified, honestly petrified of singing. I was a shower singer is what I used to call myself. Until one day I was about 13, somewhere between 13 and 15, and my church choir had the opportunity to sing at, I guess it would be like a concert full of church choirs from around the city. And there was only like 3 or 4 members of my church choir there, and we weren't the best. And I knew that I had a gift, and I knew that there was going to be a time where I needed to take that leap in faith and just trust if I gave my gifts and my talents to the Lord, that he would make it all right for me. And that's what I did that day. And I haven't shut my mouth since, man. And I've had opportunities to travel across the country, across the world, to share the gift through song, the gift of gospel through song. And it's been a pleasure, man. And so I've been working on my own music for the last maybe 4.5 years intentionally. I mean, it's been a great ride. It's come with a lot of challenges, and it's come with a lot of grinding. It's something that I don't take anything away from. I love this journey, and my purpose is to impact people's lives through music. Every day is a new day for me to make a change in somebody else's life. And so it's a blessing, man. It's really a blessing.
We're talking to Chris Bender on I'm Refocused Radio, all about his music career in the gospel industry. And he started at 15, 10 years later, 25, and you already rubbed shoulders with some of the greatest, and one of them that everybody should know, Shirley Caesar. I mean, just that right there, and then Donnie McClurkin. Those two right there, you should know. And one other one, Fred Hammond. So paint that picture for the audience. How did you get to that position? Were you able to get to that awesome opportunity?
To be completely transparent, it literally was not any intentions of my own to actually come into contact with most of these individuals. It kind of all happened by happenstance or by grace and, God's favor, honestly, and just being in the position to receive his blessings whenever they come. I think if I go back to the list, I remember Donnie McClurkin came to my hometown, Brockton, and he was preaching at a church conference, and at the end of his sermon, he started singing. And he started calling for people out of the audience, and everybody, of course, started screaming my name because everybody knew who I was in the city, but he did it. And so I went up there and sung with him, and we went to the back after, and he talked to me and encouraged me and told me to stick with it and make sure that I always remember who I'm doing this for. And so that was one of those great opportunities. With Pastor Shirley Caesar, what's crazy is sometime around 2011, she had came to Boston to do a full-length concert, and another one of those situations where I came and she called for some singers, and of course I've always taken a leap, jumped out there, started singing. And then, kind of full circle, 4 to 5 years later, I was serving at a church that was affiliated with her likeness. And so I was working closely with, her ministry and the ministries involved with an organization that she represented for a fairly long time. So it was kind of surreal to me to think, wow, there was a day where I didn't even see this happen. I just thought it was a hit and a quit, you know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, I get to sing with Shirley Caesar, dope. A couple years down the line, it all comes back full circle. Fred Hammond, I was able to open up for Fred 1 year during a summer concert. And, the list just goes on. It's honestly, man, I can't even explain how these things come to be because I'm not, I promise you, I'm not that intentional. I try to make sure that I keep my motives in the right place. I keep them in check and understand that if I never meet another celebrity, if I never, if my name is never on another Billboard chart, if my name is never in lights, if I never get called to do another set anywhere in the country, I'm okay with just understanding that this assignment was given to me from God. And as long as I'm doing it for him, I'll be good, So it's literally just him honoring my ability to stay focused on him, I believe.
You have other achievements as far as music awards. You're only 25, and not a lot of people can say, number one, they got awards for their music and met legends in their own industry. And this is not to just overshadow the main focus, and that is your ministry. Yeah. But it's nothing wrong with having good achievement of doing great things.
Yeah, bro. I tell people all the time, man, it's very important that, it's important to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes, us church folk, sometimes we make things a lot more difficult and a lot more super spooky than what they are actually to be. Yeah. And prime example is, individuals in the gospel industry, it's always key and point for us to make sure that our priority is blessing God and blessing his people. But it's okay to have goals. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to, after, you've made sure that your central focus is God, I want you to be honored in what I do, to be like, all right, cool. And since you being honored, I believe that you can bless me with a little spot on the Billboard chart. So, you know what I'm saying? If I'm doing the work for you, I know that you're going to reward me because you say in your word that you're a rewarder of those that diligently seek you. So if I'm seeking you to make sure that my priorities are in the right place, I know that you can bless me. I know that you can give me, you can grant me the desires of my heart and help me to meet some of my personal goals. Because that's what he's about. He's about you. He's about perfecting and improving and progressing his people.
As long as the goals are not bigger than God, right? As long as God's first in your life, then everything else will be added to you anyways. So with that, how do you balance yourself and not allow success to get to your head?
You know what, man? I'm a very down-to-earth guy, bro. Honestly, I try to still make sure I go grab something to eat with my friends consistently. I have a full-time job. I work as a therapeutic mentor with the Department of Children and Family Services here in the city of Boston. So, like, and that job is it's a bullet to bite every day, because you're dealing with inner-city youth in danger, at risk, making crazy decisions, you know what I'm saying? You got parents that are distressed and don't know what to do. And so I don't really have room to allow success to drive me, up to the mountain where I know I don't need to be, because there's a lot of aspects to my life. My family keeps me grounded, being able to still just be Chris. My nickname for my family is Bucci. Don't ask me what that is. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it came from. I don't know, but that's what it is. And when I come through, when I go to my grandparents' house, when I come back home to my mom's, when I'm with the family, like that's who I am. They don't see me as, they honor who I am in the industry and they honor what has come about due to my sacrifice and my hard work. However, they understand that there's a level of duality that I need to have as well. And so I don't want to be made to feel like, I'm this Greek god, when I come to a family cookout on the 4th of July, like, give me a burger. Let me sit down. I want to play cards with the rest of the family. So I think it's me understanding that I think the ability that I've had to stay balanced is been my strong discipline to ensure that I never got lost.
And once again, we are talking to music artist Chris Bender on I'm Refocused Radio. And that's a key thing that you just talked about, because to dig deeper, the job that you work at, how have you used your platform to be a positive influence where you work full time?
As of right now, I am currently working on developing a music program that will be able to cater to the needs of young individuals, youth and young adults in the city of Boston, that will be able to come and be mentored by myself and a couple of other amazing artists that also work for the agency that I represent. And we'll develop them, give them critiques and structure their performance skills so that they know how to, and have some type of recipe to build their own character off of. It's going to be really good, man. I'm really excited. I've been working on it on and off for the last maybe 3 months. And I'm really, really excited to be able to share this aspect. And of course, everybody at my corporate job know what I do, that, they support it. Sometimes my coworkers come to my engagements or my ministry opportunities. And it's really a breath of fresh air. The CEO supports it as well. And it's really good to have, to be able to work. And I mean, as an independent artist, it's very scarce to be able to say, yeah, I work full time in artistry or in the industry. And it's a little impossible almost at this time. So I'm really grateful to be able to have a job, one, and then also have a job that supports me.
People listening right now, this guy has another song coming out. See,
what you say?
You thought that we just gonna be talking about his full-time job and what he's been doing lately, but no, this guy, he doesn't sleep. So we're gonna talk about this new song dropping July 24th.
Yeah.
Tell the audience the title of the song and a little backdrop story about it.
Right. So the song is called Glad in It. The way that God gives me music is very interesting, right? It's not like me sitting down in front of a keyboard with a pen and a paper and just kind of like shelling out lyrics. I literally get songs after I've ministered songs. And so, very much so as that has been, it was in this parameter. I was leading worship one Sunday morning, finished leading the songs, and I had sat down. And the preacher, I was at a church, I was a guest artist at a church, and the preacher got up and I started hearing, I will be glad in it. And I didn't know what was going on, but I understood, because I know how God usually uses me to convey thoughts in songs. I knew there was something coming out of me, but I wasn't really pushing to move on it, because it's like, the preacher just got up. You don't stand up and walk out of the church during the preaching. So I'm trying to stay cool, but I hear this song in my head and I feel the impression that is going to be something really, really major. And what usually happens is I usually either get the melody or I'll get the lyric. I never get them at the same time. This song, I got them both at the same time, which kind of gave me the urgency, like, okay, I got to go break down. So in the middle of a sermon, while everybody's quiet, I'm wrestling through my bag, jumping up, running to the doors to get outside so that I can record what I'm hearing on my phone. So that I could send it to my MDs and producers. And literally that's how it started, man. It came out of a really dark space, because the song really speaks to being in a certain space positively. And I was everything but that. I was in the most oppositional stage of my life that I thought I was in at the time, until I got to this current space, where it felt like everything was really, like, literally crumbling before my eyes, and I could not stop it. And even in all of this, I still had to choose to rejoice and be glad in the goodness of the Lord, even in some of the worser stages of my life. And so that was the birthing place for the song, and that's where it came from, man. It really, I believe that this song is going to change the world. It's actually, crazy enough, it's available for pre-order tomorrow, Friday, July 10th. So I'm really excited to see how the people respond to it. I know that it's going to be a blessing to them, because it's really been a blessing to me, man.
And that's awesome, because this show, it will definitely be airing on Saturday and Sunday. So people who listen to this later, we record this on Thursday. But yeah, man, I'm going to spread the word about your song so that way people know, hey, this thing is coming out. But like you just said, I think this song will definitely be a timely song for people who are going through what they're going through right now. Because today, the way life is right now for a lot of people is uncertain times, and it's definitely difficult for a lot of us. what would you say to families and individuals out there who just need that motivation? Because right now they can be in a certain place in their life where they just see nothing but chaos right now.
You know what I would tell them, bro, to be honest, just at least from the space that I'm in right now, because I can only speak from my experience. And I feel like for the last 6 weeks, I've gone through like some of the most tumultuous situations that I've ever experienced. I would tell them that there is always something beautiful that is birthed out of ugly situations.
Yeah.
But you have to remain hopeful that beauty is coming. Because a lot of times what happens is we start experiencing things that we don't want to happen. We start living in spaces that we didn't think that we'd be in. We start experiencing hurt and trauma and abuse and loss and grief, and separation and transition. And we weren't counting on it. We weren't expecting it, or we seen it coming, but we didn't know when it was coming. And it kind of has the ability to throw us off. But there is a need for us to still keep striving to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Literally, like there's things that will come, there's people that will come and they'll go. There's things that will go. Life changes. Life happens to everybody, but you have to still, even though life is happening, you still have to be determined to live, not die where you are. That's what I would tell the people.
And I think you just hit something on there when you said striving towards God, because once again, we're talking to Chris Bender, and what you just said about people going back to God, like going back to the source, going back to the one that gave you your dream, your purpose, your talents, your gifts. Like a lot of times we can get distracted, and times like now that we're facing, that a lot of people are facing today, this is like an opportunity to reflect and start where it all counts. And that's back to God, getting back to the foundation, getting back to the source. How have you grown? Like your relationship with God, how have you grown as an individual and a professional when you are keeping yourself focused and connected to God?
Through my connection with God, man, I've been able to, I think one of the largest things is, I would say it's healing and perspective. They tie together significantly. For me, with my continuous relationship with the Lord in bouts, like I have bouts with, like, it gets a little tough, y'all. Like, it's not this, I think a lot of times people make Christians out to be superheroes, and what Christians don't do is return the response of, hey, we actually do have bad days. Like we go through, they're just like the rest of y'all go through. We struggle and we have hardships like the next person. And I think the beauty of my relationship, I can't speak for everybody else, but I think the beauty of my relationship with the Lord has been my ability to have my perspective shifted or changed in some of my darkest spaces or seasons. There's, over the last maybe maybe about 15, maybe somewhere between 15 to 17 years, I've dealt with and struggled with PTSD. And so it's always been a challenge. Like, well, at the beginning of finding out that I had it, it's like, wow, well, God, how would you allow somebody like me, like, I serve you, I trust you, I follow you, I believe in you, what I'm saying? I love you. Why would you give me that? Like, why would I be the one giving that? And like, am I supposed to have that? Like, I'm a Christian. I'm not supposed to have, there's not supposed to be anything wrong with me. I was crazy back then. Like, thinking that I was supposed to just be this untouchable, invincible figure because I'm a follower of Christ. And God reminded me that there's going to be many days, that will be filled with trouble. There'll be many days that you'll feel alone, that you'll feel persecuted, that you'll feel by yourself, that you'll be underneath water, that you'll feel like you're underneath the water mentally and emotionally. But he said, be of good cheer, for he's already overcome the world. So I had to understand that because I'm a Christian, it doesn't mean that I'm excluded from any of the natural things that happen. And so my ability to have my perspective shifted is one of the things that came from my relationship with God, because now I don't look at situations as storms. I look at them as segments. Storms have the ability to take over, change, and adjust your way of living. Segments are literally pieces that start and that end. but you remain at the end.
Yeah.
That's perspective, you know. I have a lot of people that I know that, you know, they'll look at a storm and be like, oh my God, I'm in a storm. And that's 6 weeks of like consistent, like blah land. They're just in a space. They can't function. They don't know what to do. They're restless. They up all night, you know, and we have a greater hope. You know, when you follow Christ, there's a greater hope that comes along with it, that helps you to understand, okay, I might be really having a terrible Monday, but guess what? Tuesday is coming, okay? And if I can get through Monday, surely there's hope that Tuesday will be better. All about perspective. Full half glass empty type of mentality.
Everything you just said, I want to just push that forward because you're absolutely right about perspective. God will shift your perspective and your focus, because a lot of times we can be focused on the wrong things and miss the opportunity that God has for our lives. And someone listening right now, you may not like the season that you're currently in. It may not be fun. It may be scary to you. It may be frustrating to you, whatever. You just fill in the blank. Don't lose your focus on God, because if you keep yourself as close as you can to God, even if you feel like you're far away, like Chris just said moments ago, just because you're Christian doesn't mean everything's going to be flowing perfectly in your life. Well, you're going to have issues just like everyone else have issues. But the thing is, you have a problem solver that can shift you in the right direction. What else will you tell, Chris, to our listening audience, especially those who would love to be in the same situation you're in as far as creating your songs and producing and singing and ministry? What advice and words of wisdom will you give to anybody who's young, who wants to be in the music career?
There's 3 principles that I try to live by, man. I think that it helps me to make what is a very difficult industry to succeed in a little more bearable. And they are as follows. So to my young brother, my young sister that is, you know, currently in a midway space of trying to figure out whether or not this is their next, you know, if I'm supposed to pursue music, I would say number one, and this is across any genre too, man. I think sometimes that we get confused that it's like, oh, well, this is only for church folks. No. This is literally for every genre, right? Mm-hmm. Number one, you have to keep God at the center of it all. Keep God at the center of it all, because there are going to be things that will cause you sometimes to subconsciously shift your focus, like the people, the consumer, the response of the consumer, the business, how you're running business, how you're doing things. There's so many things that your perspective can shift to and from, and you want to make sure that you're grounded, you know what I'm saying? Because this industry is very, very, very vicious, and you can get swept up and be driven away or carried away in the waves of all of the fanfare that comes along with this, and miss your mark, and miss your assignment, and miss your purpose in all of this. So always keep God first. My second principle is to know yourself and be true to yourself. That was very important for me, because I knew that there was something always different about me, and I wanted to make sure that I never allowed whatever height my success in my career went to drive me to become somebody that I'm not. I'm literally, bro, I can get 100 comments on a post, and I'm going to try my best at some point during the week to get back to every one of those comments to say thank you, or to just be, because that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? And so I never, you know, I've had many conversations with my team and teams in the past that have said, you know, Chris, you might want to just, you don't want to become too relatable or personal. And like, well, why not? I know my levels, I know my limits, you know, and I know where the bus is to stop, and then I know where to keep going. And I believe that, you know, knowing yourself is most important, because you are able to, in those spaces where you're being given a option to be different than that, you can always go back to the base of who you are and say, does this coincide with who I am, or does this oppose who I am? And you get to make the decisions from there. And then my last principle is to do it afraid. There are going to be times that come where you're going to be by yourself. Trust me, I know. There's going to be times where you're going to be faced with decisions that you don't know what the outcome of either one will be. But you got to do it afraid, because there is no recipe directly for doing this thing called artistry the right way. There's no recipe.
Once again, we We've been talking to Chris Bender. He is doing amazing things in not just the music world, but just in the community that he lives in. So I want to make sure that we plug the new song that's dropping July 24th, Glad in It. It's going to be available everywhere. Before we let you go, Chris, today, what would you like to tell our audience?
Oh, my gosh. Listen, family, cousins, nieces and nephews, aunts and uncles, mamas and daddies, I love y'all so much. Thank you. Thank you for supporting my new fam, my guy here with this amazing show. And thank you also for supporting me in this new endeavor. Listen, I really want everybody to go get Glad in It. It's going to be a bop. You're going to love it. It's going to get you together. It's going to be that car riding song that you listen to every day getting ready for work. It's going to get you there. And it's available for pre-order July 10th. So go and grab it. It'll be available completely, both songs. It's going to be a special treat. I'm giving y'all one cut of the song tomorrow, July 10th, when you pre-order. And then there's going to be a second version to the song that you're going to get on the 24th. So please, please, please make sure that you go everywhere music is sold. iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify, everywhere. It's everywhere, right? Make sure you go and support me. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all so much. And I'm praying for you today. Everything is going to be all right. Keep your head up. Live.
Once again, we want to thank artist Chris Bender for being on I Am Refocused Radio today, for taking time out of his busy schedule. Like we say on every single show, keep God first, stay focused, and peace.
Thanks for listening to I Am Refocused Radio, brought to you by Documation. Documation is a full-service technology solutions company that provides IT, print, and software managed services. Headquartered in San Antonio, Documation has been serving customers across Texas for nearly 30 years. Visit Mation.com today. Hi, San Antonio. Need a barber? Visit our good friend Rico Rodriguez, the owner of Rockefeller's Barbershop in San Antonio, Texas, 1733 Babcock Road, and book your appointment today by calling 210-782-5188.